This episode is brought to you by KG Productions for KrsnaKnows.
Good evening. We are doing the Narada Bhakti Sutra. This is a new sutra today. It is from 34 onwards. Now, these are sutras which are going to help us in developing the divine love for the Lord. So, today we are doing how are the techniques, what is exactly required for a devotee to understand how to develop this love for the divine. So, Narada Bhakti Sutra, Sutra 34. The ancient teachers sing differently upon the means of developing this devotion in the human bosom. Now, every teacher of Bhakti Marga is going to talk of different techniques or different methodologies for developing this devotion to the Supreme Divine Consciousness, God Almighty, Krishna, or the Father in Heaven, whatever you wish to call him. Now, all these teachers, though they speak in a language which is different, but the end goal is the same. We had also yesterday thought of the end goal related to other aspects like the Karma Yoga, that is the path of action. Then we had also done what is called as the Jnana Marg, which is the path of knowledge, and the Raj Yoga. We had done all these things, but end goal is always reaching the divine. In this, the teachers who are connected only to this particular philosophy of what is called as the Bhakti Marg will be discussed. And all the teachers that are there, if you put them together, what are they actually talking about? This is the path which we are going to explore today. So, let us begin of the way in which these ancient teachers actually showed us how to reach there. Sutra 35 says, "Indeed, the source of devotion are explored and exploited fully through number one, renunciation of sense objects, and also by 2, giving up attachments to beings around." So, 2 clear indications are there in the beginning itself. Narada and every other person is discussing the path to reaching this ultimate destination of devotion to the divine. It is available to us through the path of Bhakti Marga. The first objective, if you have to be the devotee of God, first is renouncing the sense objects. We have 5 senses. Now these senses are always drawn outwards. They are drawn outwards. They keep on going outwards, constantly getting attracted towards the material world. Our eyes are roaming and finding things. Ears want to hear everything. Whatever that is going on and whatever that is not going on also we want to hear. The attraction for that is so very big. We want to taste the best stuff in the world, whatever that we can get to eat. Our senses are pulling us in that direction. We always want to wear the feel, of good clothes, soft materials, that is connected to our skin, and the nose, which is connected to the best of the smells. We love perfumes. We get so attracted by somebody wearing a perfume. Now, all these are objects which are drawing our senses towards them, saying, "Come to me, come to me, come to me." It is exactly like the advertisements which say, "Look at me." If you're watching YouTube or Facebook or any of these medias, what happens suddenly if you're watching a very interesting article or you're seeing something very, very interesting, suddenly in the middle of it, there is an ad. And you get so distracted. This ad which comes in distracts you so much that you don't want to see it, but you are made to see because it comes multiple times. And when it comes multiple times, you have to see. There are no choices. It's exactly like when you go to a theater and you sit for the movie. The movie is going to start after some time, but you get to watch a lot of advertisements. You may not like that ad where the smoking is coming, he says, don't smoke. And so Akshay Kumar is saying, don't do this and this. So many of these kind of ads when they come, though they are very interesting and they have to be followed, you have to understand, but it is like a disturbance. And that disturbance affects us quite a lot. Have you noticed it? This attraction towards material objects by the senses is a very, very strong motivation for anybody to get into that object. I will tell you something very funny just now. I was reading something and suddenly the windows were open and nice smell wafts in, through the windows. Somebody is making bhajiyas. Well, they are frying something and the smell is wafting here and there. The nose gets carried away. This is the attraction that is drawing you closer towards that object and says, come to me, look at me, see me, take me. I want you to eat this stuff. I want you to feel this. These are the things that happen. These are called disturbances. And the first one is renouncing the sense objects. If you want to be the devotee of God, you have to renounce the sense objects. The sense object's job is to attract you. In this material domain, this world around us, haven't you seen all the sense objects the way they attract? The flowers are so pretty and beautiful that the bee hovers around it. The small flying insects, they will go, they will sit on it, and then they will go to another one, and then they will go to another one and another one. The flowers are made in such a way so that they do the attraction part, and when they are attracted towards it, they do the pollination. It is the way of the world. When a man sees a beautiful woman, it is the same thing as attraction and then pollination. So I hope you understand how this attraction in the world works. This attraction is so much drawn towards this object that it becomes difficult not to get carried away by it. Today, we were discussing about a very interesting phenomena in this world. So, in that, what happens is, people eat all kinds of stuff. All this problem which is happening in the world, the coronavirus COVID-19 issue, is because of people eating the wrong stuff. It is said somewhere that someone ate the bat. Today they caught a lot of pangolin skins in Malaysia or Indonesia or one of those countries. They were seized. Why are they doing that? People eat snakes, they eat rats, they eat all kinds of bugs. So the question was, why do human beings eat that stuff? Now I'm going to give you an answer why they do it. It is called as tendency. Now these tendencies come from your past lives. Alright? I told you there are more than 2 billion people who eat what is called as bugs. Think carefully. Who eats bugs? The birds. Isn't it? The birds eat the bugs. They go, they search out the bug and then they eat it. You have seen even the hens and all these creatures around, they see. Who eats snakes? The eagle. It has got its eyes on that snake. It goes, snatches it and eats it up. So I think you got a gist of what I am saying. It is not that the humans love to eat that, but it is their tendency to eat that. And that tendency has come from their past lives. So if there is someone who is eating a bug today, common sense, forget about rest of the things, common sense will tell you they must have been birds in their past life somewhere. Somebody who is eating a snake or something like that must be an eagle or those kind of creatures. These are called tendencies from the past lives. Alright? Now, this is what is drawing them. When they see this creature, the bugs. Now, those who don't love bugs, when they look at a bug, they'll do like that. But the rest of the world which loves the bugs to eat, they are not going to do They are on the contrary, they are going to say, yum yum, let me eat it. They must have been birds, see? I think it is clearly there somewhere. So it is, by the way, whatever I am saying is mentioned in the scriptures. So I am just telling you what this is all about. So there was a scripture which I was doing in which it was mentioned. So I'm just repeating it because that scripture is not this one. It's just a repetition of what happened. So that is the tendency from the past. Now we come to the next part, which is called tendencies from this life. People develop tendencies when they come in connect with the universe around. So suppose you have a friend or a relative who is used to smoking, somebody who is used to drinking, somebody who is used to nowadays you see everybody is with their phones. They are lost in their phone. Tick, 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 tick. They are going around here and there, they're banging their heads everywhere, and yet they are lost in their phone. You see these youngsters today, or even old people for that matter, see them sitting in the trains, they are lost in their phone. Sometime it was Candy Crush and sometime it is something else. They're playing tick, 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 tick all the time. Now, this is a new tendency. Common sense will tell you there was no cell phone 100 years back or 50 years back. So your forefathers never had a cell phone. So if they have developed this tendency of being lost in the phone, it must be a new one, isn't it? So what the human being does is they gather these tendencies. And you have a repository of tendencies. They are just waiting for the object to come in front of them. But let me assure you, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam and all the ancient scriptures, it is very clearly mentioned that these tendencies need not attract you. And the objects also need not attract you. You can still have the bug right in front of your nose over here, but there is no necessity of removing the tongue out and eating it. Okay? Sounds funny, isn't it? As if you have a fork tongue, it comes out and eats that bug. No. What I mean is, you don't have to do that. You can drop that tendency. You can put it in the back burner. You can just put it in the cupboard and lock it up. The tendency can be locked up, can be just put somewhere away. So it is the human mind which can help a person to overcome this tendency. But it is the same human mind which can tell you, go eat it, go drink it, fall into that trap. So I hope you got this one. What is it that is attracting? The objects around you. They will say, come to me, look at me, see me, eat me, drink me. Like that. So, you have to renounce these objects, sense objects. Don't fall for those objects. Got it? Don't get trapped into these tendencies of yours and fall for that object. When you want to become a devotee of the Lord, why do these objects become attractive to you? So don't get attracted to these objects. The object can just be there. It need not bother you. You see, botheration is when you have the wherewithal to do that. You may see a Ferrari and you may not have the wherewithal to buy that. Got it? But the wherewithal to see the object and fall in love with the object is there. So you may look at a beautiful car and say, wow, I would love to own it someday. That is called attraction. Renounce it. It is not necessary to own the object. Alright? You may see a beautiful object, you no need to own it. There are beautiful roses and plants and so on and so forth. Why is it that some people want to pluck that and put it in their hair or put it in front of something? Why does that happen? Because you want the ownership of the object. I want to own the object. It is just like the Ferrari that you see, you want to own it. If you see something nice and grand and beautiful, likable, you want to own it. And the senses and the sense objects are like this. Come, let us come. You don't have to do that. First is called renunciation of the sense objects. Give that attraction. Give up. And it can be done only with self-effort. Say no. I was talking about Akshay Kumar, isn't it? Does he not say to that person, no cigarettes? Exactly like that. You don't have to fall for it. Say, no Ferrari, no cigarettes, no drinks. Like that. You can say no to it. Suppose attraction is too strong, stay away from it. Suppose it is liquor. Suppose somebody likes booze. Why do you have to get the bottle and keep it in front of you? There is a very beautiful story Ramakrishna Paramahansa was saying. In that story, Ramakrishna ji was saying that there is a doctor and there is a doctor friend of his. They are both sitting together. Suddenly a patient comes. Though that doctor is not doing anything, yet the doctor looks at the patient, says, what is wrong? He says, I have this issue. So he tells him, can you come tomorrow? I will take care of the issue tomorrow, not today. So the doctor friend who is sitting over there says to him, why did you send that fellow away? So the next day when he comes, he looks at that patient of his and gives him the medicine and says, you take this medicine. So the doctor friend says, you could have done the same thing yesterday. Why did you do it today? So he says, you see, yesterday there were bottles behind me of all those sweet objects which were the cause of his misery. Got it? They were putting him in that disease. So if I have to give him that particular medicine, it is anyway not going to work on him because he will still be thinking, doctor is having those things. He has seen them. So today I removed those bottles away from here and I gave him the same medicine which I was supposed to give him yesterday. So it is simply like that. If there is an irritable person in your life or an irritating object or something which is going to draw your attention towards it, can you remove that object from your vicinity? remove it out of your vision. So if there is a person, maybe you have an ex, why do you have to retain the pictures or the phone number or the messages of that person? Because every time when you see that, you feel very nostalgic and you feel, I should not have done like this, you should not have done like that, this should not have happened. And then you go into that state of mind where you are going to be lost. So can you delete all those pictures? Can you delete all those messages? Can you delete that phone number? Can you remove that object right from your nose? Right in front of your nose, delete it. So the first thing that you got to do in your life is remove the object which is irritating you. The object which is irritating you, the object which you feel that you need to have it, even those things. You are a diabetic and there are lots of sweets around. I don't think you should keep those sweets in front of you. Can you just remove those sweets from there? That is the answer. So the first method is this. Okay, remove the object. Second, try very hard not to go and fall into that ditch. Say to yourself, I am capable of avoiding this problem. I don't want to fall into that ditch of attraction. Attraction or repulsion, both are same. I don't have to get attracted and I don't have to feel repulsive about certain things, because even repulsion is nothing but a reverse of attraction and your mind is going to get trapped in that. That means if there is something which is irritating you, it's going to irritate you throughout your life and you're going to be attracted towards that object. Got it? You keep on thinking about that object. Isn't it the same? Like suppose today you had a breakup. You know what? For the next 1 month you're going to maybe grow your beard, grow your hair and keep on thinking like Devdas. Oh, why did this happen? You may say, and today it might be repulsion. You don't like that person. Maybe that person cheated on you or something like that. But yet, what happens? Your mind is occupied in that object, and this is what I'm talking about. He says, renounce it. Renounce these sense objects. Don't attract them towards you. Attraction and repulsion are a similar phenomena. They take up your mind space, isn't it? Something that takes up your mind space, you got to remove it from your life. Renunciation means that object should not even touch you. The object is going to be there. Why are you bothered about it? So renunciation of sense objects is the primary way of getting higher in devotion. Renounce the objects which attract you. The next thing that he says is give up attachments to beings around. We are so much attached to people in our life. If you are attached to one person, can you be attached to another person? Suppose you have one husband or one wife, you are attracted towards that husband or wife. If I have another husband and another wife, you know what is going to happen, no? Mahayuddha. There is going to be Mahabharata. Why do you want to have that? There is going to be a lot of ill will. So, attraction of any one object takes away from another. Let us say you love mangoes and I keep a basket full of beautiful mangoes in front of you. You know, you cannot take your eyes out from them. You want to have them. Now, you know all these people who do this kind of attraction things, what do they have? They have all these beautiful calendar girls, pictures and all that, so that they get attracted towards this object. Why are you attracted towards that object? Because of lust. It could be any other thing also. Now, family. You have parents. You are definitely going to be attached to them. If you are attached to your parents, let us say you are attached to your mother and your father goes and marries another woman, are you going to have the same love for this other woman? No, you are not going to have. You will say, that is my mother. So attachment is exactly like that. When you get attached to one object, the other object is out of the way. So, in developing devotion to Krishna, Supreme Divine Consciousness, Father in heaven, if I have some relative with whom I am competing, nobody is going to be attracted towards the Father in heaven or Krishna or the Lord. My love and my attraction is only that one person. So if I have my mother whom I am very much attached to, you think I can even have Krishna's love in my life? No way. No way, no way. You can be rest assured, you can never have that love for another person. So here the other person is Krishna. Got it? So if you love your father and mother, you love your spouse, you love your children, you love your grandchildren, you love your friend, your relative or whoever concerned, how can another love exist at that point in time? It doesn't exist, by the way. The second love is literally like okay, like that. And that is the reason why he says, giving up attachment to beings around. Don't ever get attached to anybody. They are anyway going to backstab you. How are they going to do that? Simply look up like this. Now you have your mother or your father, and let us say you are a young person. Now it so happens that young people, when they are in their youth, they find another person in their life. Suppose that girl has a boyfriend or the man has a girlfriend. The mother, she gets very upset. She says, my son's life, is destroyed by this girl who has come in his life. Is that so? It is called attachment. It's the same thing when the husband and wife are there and the husband is looking out, maybe he has a girlfriend somewhere. At that time, doesn't the wife feel, oh, he's looking at that woman. Why is he going after her? You don't like it. Nobody likes it. If it is their daughters or, sons, the mother is going to get upset. The daughter or the son is also going to be upset. Why doesn't my mother understand this? That I need to fall in love with this person. I want to stay with this person. I want to spend my future with him or her. So this is the place where discord sets in. So now tell me whether the attachments are good for you or no. They are bad. Because any kind of attachment is going to give you a heartache. When the children leave and go, you have something which is called emptiness syndrome. The parents feel left out. My children, they went away. Someone goes abroad for studies. The person feels, oh, why has that person gone away? And someone is looking for another person, then they feel upset about it. So the second rule, the second path towards loving Krishna and becoming a devotee, drop all these material worldly attachments. Throw them out of the window. Nobody is going to be with you till the end. Let me assure you this much. No mother, father. No grandparents. No husband, wife. That husband-wife relationship is also temporary. See, you met that person or that person met you when you were maybe young. Alright? And how many years does it last? There is discord constantly. I don't like this. You should not be doing this. That should not be done. Today, when everybody is at home, everybody is getting on each other's nerves. You know that very well, isn't it? Suppose you have, in today's day and age, what has happened is people are supposed to be inside the house. how many hours can you stay with this person? After some time, you're going to get very irritated. Why? Because you are not used to being with that person, even if you might have been with that person for the last 20 years. They're going to get on your nerves. You will not like what they are doing, and they will not like what you are doing. In our spiritual path also, suppose there is somebody. Now, let us say you are a young man or a young woman who wants to be in spiritual. Your parents, your relatives, your friends will be the first person to say, "What? You're going to become a sannyasi? What are they talking about? I just want to be lost in the divine. What is your problem in life?" You will find out. And you will ask them, "What is it with you? Don't you understand? You love your job well. Okay, you may be liking your job and you may be going to work. You love that thing. This is my job. I want to be in love with Krishna. I want to be in love with Father in heaven. What is your problem? Am I running away from you?" That's a discord. Attachments causes this. Nobody likes it. All the sages and the saints, you know what they did? They walked out of their house. Their parents, Shankaracharya's mother and mother did not like it at all. But he wants to do something. Dattatreya, my Gurudev, he walked out at 8 years of age. Ramana Maharishi, he did that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did that. Everybody. Those who are on the path of spiritual, they cannot be, caught in one place. They have to be detached in this world. They have to go away. For them, that is important. Why? The second one over here. When a person is detached, he can get attached to the Lord. The Father in heaven or Krishna is not going to ditch you. Why? Because he doesn't have any ulterior motives. He is not saying, "You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back." He's not interested. In a husband-wife relationship, what is there? You do this for me, I'll do that for you. In children and parents, what is there? You do this for me, I'll do that for you. It's a give and take. It's a transactional relationship. Understand, every relationship is a transactional relationship. There is no unconditional love in this world. And if there is somebody in this world who says, "I have unconditional love," they can prove it to me. There is no such thing as unconditional love in this world. If you are a woman, if you look at another man, the husband and other people are going to get upset. In spirituality, the primary thing in this marg, in the bhakti marg, in the marg of devotion, is to be attracted towards the Lord so much. That means detachment from the entire material world. You don't have to bother about anybody. If you have to walk out tomorrow just because you have to go and see God, you're allowed to do that. That is a kind of love that is required. So first thing which we did was, you have to be dispassionate in this world. Dispassionate. You don't have to like objects. You don't allow the objects to attract you. Number one. Number two, detachment from this world. Detachment from every person that you have in your life. This is the truth. And Narada says these words. Indeed, the source of devotion are explored and exploited fully through renunciation of sense objects and also by giving up attachment to beings around, to people around you. Now it need not be just your relatives, your friends or whoever. There may be people around you. What are you talking about? Did I not tell you that everybody has tendencies? I was giving this beautiful explanation of tendencies. It was a long lecture on tendencies. In that, please understand, parents are there, okay? And they have a son or a daughter. The parents may be completely teetotalers. They don't drink. But the son or the daughter may drink. Do you think that they are anyway attached to anything? Every person who is born on this earth, okay, through some womb, is not even connected to that person. Go backwards in time and think about what I said. In your previous life, if you are a hen and you love this life, in this life you love to eat a bug. Do you think your parents were somebody in your past life like a father hen and a mother hen? No. So in this life, what makes you think that they are your father and mother just because they have come out from that womb? They are no relatives of yours. Let me tell you, the whole universe works like this. It is just a womb. It is just an entry point. If you have to go to your country, like I have to enter India, or if I have to enter some other country, there are numerous points from where I can enter, isn't it? It's exactly like that. So your parents are not going to be chicken just because you were chicken in your last life. And before, in that previous life of theirs, they might have been pigs and you might not have been their piglet. Okay? Did you get the point? This life, your parents are human doesn't mean that you are their son or their daughter. So what attachment are you talking about? Is the hen going to say, Mummy, Daddy? Is that what she is going to say? That is called attachment. So in the next life of yours, you may turn out into an elephant, and they may turn into something completely different. One of them will become a bird and the second one may become a cockroach. Can a bird and a cockroach give, elephant as their child? No. So this kind of nonsensical world is what we believe in. This is my mother, this is my father, just because you came from a womb. Sorry, sir, that is not how it works. If you are a person who believes in rebirths, do you believe in rebirths? I think everybody who is sitting for my satsang believes in this great theory of rebirths. Reincarnations. We have taken number of reincarnations. Not necessary that you are reincarnating like a human being all the time. No. You have thousands of births. In your last birth and the one before that and the one before that and the one before that. You were never a human being, by the way. You are just thinking that I am a human being. And if somebody in this world is telling you that I was a human being in my last life and the life before that and the life before that, that person must be really off his. Okay? There is no such thing as taking births like that. It's not necessary. So if you understand the whole creation, you could have been a tree, a people tree for all you know. So does the people tree look at, this is my mother and this is my father? You think a people tree is going to say that? People tree is the Bodhi tree, they say. You see, the Bodhi tree is not going to say, this is my mummy, this is my daddy, this is my brother, this is my sister. You think a chicken is going to say that? No. Nobody is bothered. So then why take this kind of an attachment in this world? You are just a very beautiful spirit soul. And you have come from a particular place doesn't mean that you can take ownership of that. Yes, a certain amount of devotion to that object is also going to be there. You are going to like your parents because you are born there. You are going to like your country because you are born there. Okay, that is the only way. But otherwise, in devotional path, this is the primary thing. You don't have to be attracted towards anything. So there should be detachment. We are moving to the next verse 36. It says, that is Sutra 36 says, also through continuous tender and loving service of the Lord. That is point number 3. First 2 points, first is dispassion, second is detachment, and the third one is through continuous tender loving service of the Lord. You have to be in love with the Lord. You have to be a devotee of the Lord. It is more than your relationship with your husband and wife. Your husband and wife may come second or third or fourth or something like that. Or your children may come fifth, sixth, seventh, I don't know. Number one always in the category should be the Lord. Why? Because He is the Father of yours. You are the children of God. You are not children of some human being. Everybody is a child of God, isn't it? So if you have a father and a mother and you and your brothers and your sisters and your husband, your wife, your children, everybody around you, they are all children of God. Got the answer? So if they are all children of God, who is their father? That is called Father in heaven. Krishna is the only Father. Alright? You can call Him whatever name you want, it does not matter. Because we are doing Narada Bhakti Sutra, so I am calling Him Krishna. Anybody in this world who believes in the Supreme Divine Consciousness should understand this line that you have only one Father. And that is that. You want to call Him Mother also, it's okay by me, doesn't matter. Some people say, that is my mother. Okay? I am a woman. I want to call her mother. Any problem of yours? Of course not. I have no problems at all. You can call her mother or you can call him father. You want to call him it also, it is IT also. Okay. That is also fine with me. Doesn't really matter because we don't know Supreme Divine Consciousness the way it is. Remember, He said, I am a person. I am only a person and that is my abode. Yesterday I did this verse from the Bhagavad Gita where I said, in the Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, I live in the second divine unmanifest, that is my abode, and I am the supreme divine person over there. This is the verse from the Bhagavad Gita. He has said it very clearly. If He has said it very clearly, I just have to take it as the gospel truth. Even Jesus also said, no, Father in heaven. Okay, accept it. So, what are you supposed to do with Him? He says, through continuous tender and loving service to the Lord. Service to the Lord. The way you serve your husband, the way you serve your children, the way you serve your friends, the way you serve your relatives, the way you serve your people around, you want to go and help the world, you want to go and take care of the sick people, you want to take care of all the COVID fellows, please, more than that service, you have to give the Lord. The Father in heaven, you have to be so much in love and so much in devotion to Him that all the service has to be directed towards Him only. Did you get it? So this is the verse Sutra where he says, the third point number 3, through continuous, tender and loving service of the Lord. Is he going to say, an endorsement saying, oh, you are a great person, you have done a great service? He's not going to give you any certificate, okay? He's not even going to look at you and say, oh, you're doing a great job. No. Because no, in devotion you don't bother about these kind of things. Okay? No God is going to come, oh, I'm going to kill so many people. So you get upset. Oh God, you're going to kill so many people because of this virus. You are not a good God. You can't say those words. Why is He doing it? Those are His children. That is His problem, not yours. Got it? Your job is to offer continuous, tender and loving service to the God. We move to the next verse. Number 4 point. See, so far we have done 3, isn't it? Now we are going to the 4th point. This is Sutra number 37. And what does he say in the Sutra 37? Again, by hearing and singing the glories of the Lord, even while engaged in the activities of this world. While you are doing the activities of this world, while you are taking care of coronavirus people, you are taking care of your husband, you are taking care of your children, you are taking care of your plants, you are taking care of this world around you, you may be just sitting at home and maybe watching the TV, taking care of your own computers for all that matter. Does it really matter what you are doing? While you are doing that, all those things that you are doing, he says, Narada is saying, the devotee, he should be hearing and singing the glories of the Lord. Hearing and singing the glories of the Lord means There are lots of these great people in this world who have written beautiful poems on the Lord. Last so many days am I not telling you about how these Haridasas are working? Haridas is not one person. Haridas is people who are madly in love with God. You know these people how they are. They are madly in love with God. What are they doing? They are singing songs. It's not that you have to become some Mirabai and take one Ektara and go ting 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 all the time singing song to the God. He is not saying like that. There can be one Mirabai, of course. Today we are going to do a story which is very unique, exactly like that only. This person is exactly like Mirabai. Alright, we are going to do that. Wait. So what he says, you just have to keep on singing the glories of God. Okay? Instead of giving those 4-letter words, you can say his name. Does not matter. Oh Krishna. Oh Jesus. No problem. At least you are taking his name. Just like the person who said Narayana. That way you are taking his name. But I would rather you don't say it in a bad way. Okay? You should always praise the Lord. Which means just be in love with him and just say, I am doing it for Krishna. That's it. So, no bad thought will come in your mind, isn't it? The idea is, you are a devotee of Krishna. If you are listening to all this satsang, naturally I think you are attracted towards that God only. Otherwise, why are you wasting your time for so many days sitting over here? You think I'm going to give you some chocolates? You think I'm going to give you some gifts after this? Okay, thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow you will get an iPhone 12. I'm not going to give you iPhone 12s. Got it? So, there is no gift at the end of it, okay? What is the gift? Only some stories of the Lord. That's it. That's the only gift I can give you at the end. So, the answer is simply this. Sing his glories. That is Kirtan. Kirtan means singing the songs of the Lord. In church they have those choirs, they sing all the hymns and this and that, so many things. You can do that. And hearing them. Suppose you have a horrible voice. You can't sing properly. Don't sing. It's okay. Doesn't matter. At least you can listen to those words, isn't it? See, you are hearing with your ear all the nonsense in this world. Why not you tune your ears towards that good stuff? Okay, so listen to his stories, listen to the songs, listen to his glories wherever you get a chance. Yes, YouTube is there and all these places are there. Go search it out. You will find some nice stories. Got it? So this is what he means. And this way we have come to the end of Sutra 37. Next time when we start, we are going to do the magic of satsang. I see you are sitting for satsangs only. What am I doing? I'm nothing but satsangs. So next time it is the magic of satsangs. We are going to do that chapter which is from verse 38 onwards. We have ended at verse 37. Now is the time for the story. See, I can tell you stories about people who are madly in love with God. So today I am going to tell you a story of a person who was absolutely crazy about God. Okay, now this was a young boy. He was born in a very poor family, somewhere a few miles away or kilometers away from Delhi. You can say very close to Vrindavan, very close to that area. Brajbhumi, they call it. Now, he was blind from birth. He was born blind. And because he was born blind, parents, they are very partial towards this kind of children. Because they cannot manage themselves in the world, so these were poor parents. What are they to do with this child who is blind? So at the age of 6, the child is literally thrown out from the family. And because he is thrown out from the family, he goes and stays near a river bank. There is a Yamuna Nadi over there. Yamuna river is there. So he went and stayed near the Yamuna river. And he would beg and he would get the money, he would sing something and he would get the money, and he would be constantly staying over there. By the time he became 16 years of age, he had gone to a ghat over there. Ghat is on every river there are ghats. A bank of a river, as we call it. So he was standing on this bank of a river. It was called Gau Ghat. Gau means cow. So naturally that is a county where everybody has got cattle. Alright. And remember, Krishna used to stay very close by over there in Vrindavan. This is somewhere in the late 15th century. 15th century. 500 years ago. So this young boy, 16 years, completely blind, he meets his guru over there. Now he's singing something. And the guru looks at that young boy and says, "Wow, you got a great voice." And he calls him by the name Surdas. Sur. It's a musical thing. A person who can sing very nicely. So he calls him by the name Surdas. Now Surdas is under the Chhatrachaya, under the aegis of his great guru. Now his guru is Vallabhacharya. It's a very, very great person. He started a particular kind of a movement on the path of devotion. So every day he would listen to the entire Bhagavatam, and he became so proficient in Bhagavatam that he knew literally all the verses by heart. It's very difficult to by heart all this. But Surdas, with the beautiful voice of his, was able to by heart and was able to say these beautiful poems. Now it so happened that one day, when he was walking, now there are those wells, there used to be big wells. So one day he stumbled and fell inside a well. He's blind and he falls into the well. Naturally, the first name that he calls out to is, "Krishna, save me." So Krishna comes to save him. And Krishna pulls him out of that well. So when Krishna pulls him out of the well, Radha is there with him. She asks Krishna, "Why did you do that?" So Krishna tells her, "He is one of my greatest devotees." Then Krishna goes further away. But Radha says, "I just want to be near him and I want to see him and I just want to hold him so that he can be, he's blind, remember that. So I'll just take him ahead." So she catches hold of his hand. He stumbles and he catches hold of her leg, and in that, the thing which we call as what they wear in the leg, penjan. I don't know what is the English word for that. He gets it in his hand. He doesn't let it go. So Radha says, "Give it to me." And then there is that little bit of a scuffle. He says, "I know who you are. You're Radharani." So Krishna over there is seeing all this thing happening. He looks at him and says, "Okay, I'll grant you one wish. What do you want from me?" Surdas says, "Can I see you with my eyes? Because I don't have eyes." So Krishna grants him the vision to see with his eyes. And he sees this beautiful couple in front of him, Radha Krishna, in Vrindavan. He is completely satiated by this vision. Krishna then says, "You can ask me for another boon." Surdas says, "Thank you. I want another boon. Can you make me blind again?" Krishna asks him, "Why do you want to become blind?" He says, "I just have filled you and Radharani in my mind, in my entire being. I don't want to lose that vision ever again. So make me blind. And then Krishna makes him blind again. This is the story of Surdas, who went on to write a very beautiful bhajans and kirtans in the name of the Lord. They are so famous, and they are written in the local language over there called Brij Bhasha. This is a story of devotion to the Lord. Can you imagine the devotion that he had for the Lord? That he said, "Give me back my blindness." How many people will want that? I just want to get lost in you. I don't want to see this world. Doesn't that qualify the sentence, don't get attracted by the sense objects, you just have to get attracted by the beautiful image of the Lord? You don't have to have attachments. Remember, his parents threw him out. Isn't it true? So this is what the story is all about. To prove the fact that love is blind. And the love for the divine, the love for the Lord has to be exactly like this. Like Surdas. So I will end my satsang over here and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a very good evening.